Hello, hello. We're gonna be live very soon. We're just gonna wait a couple minutes and give everyone the opportunity to join in live. So for everyone joining, we're still gonna wait shortly and then we're gonna start. So hello and welcome everybody to the ONINO March 2025 community update. It's great having you all. We hope you are all in a good mood and we're gonna jump right into this month's community update. The topics we have are events, then we're gonna talk about the ONINO ecosystem quickly. We are gonna talk about the tokenization platform update, then web wallet and migration update. We're going to jump over to the development update, then we'll have general topics, and then it's going to be question time as always. So let's start with events first. Last month, we have been to Road to Start Summit in Stuttgart, and we have been to Paris, to the NFT Paris, the largest Web3 event. Both events have been great. On the right side, you see Justin and myself, Alex, who've been to Paris, and then on the left side, Lucas and Kai were joining there. And we kind of split the team because both were on the 14th of February. No idea who had that idea, but we had Valentine's dates with ONINO somewhere else. And yeah, that were our events. It was pretty nice. We had great community interactions, meeting new people, seeing the state of the industry, and all in all, two great events, and really looking forward to the upcoming events, which are 2 events in March and 1 in April, and many, many more to come. So the first one will be that, or the first one is an announcement essentially, that ONINO is again part of the German delegation and that we're going to go to the USA with them. The first step will be Silicon Valley, so German delegation and ONINO with that goes to Silicon Valley. And there we have a pretty packed program, 2 days in San Francisco, and there's going to be many, many more and many people joining there, many interesting contacts and everything. So this is going to be a pretty big one. And Silicon Valley contacts are always, I would say, kind of the state-of-the-art, biggest thing that you can have in this industry or in general. And then after that, we're going to go to the SXSW, the South by Southwest, with the German delegation again. German delegation, for those that don't know what exactly that means that we are part of some of the only and biggest group or most important group of chosen German startups to go there to conferences, again with BWI, Baden-Württemberg International, and they're sending very promising startups to events around the world, and this time again Silicon Valley and Texas, USA. And then in April, we're going to go to Token 2049 in Dubai. We've been there last year in Token 2049 in Singapore. And this is the next event in the series. And it's been an amazing event, meeting very interesting contacts and connections for partnerships, customers, and all those things, integrations. So some very interesting events to come and many, many more in the future. So the next one is the ONINO ecosystem. As every month, we want to go over it quickly in a couple of words for those that don't know exactly what ONINO is. ONINO is an ecosystem of applications, and it's built all around tokenization. And as a base layer, we have the ONINO blockchain that enables everything to be built on top of. So we have private and public subchains on top of the ONINO blockchain in and of itself. And those enable for builders to build pretty much anything that they can think of on either the official and public ONINO blockchain or on public subchains or even on private subchains, if they, for example, have data privacy requirements. Then talking about building, that's where the ONINO developer platform comes in. And the developer platform essentially brings you all the tools that you need to easily and quickly build on a blockchain. So there's our, for example, AI support, which is kind of state of the art today for smart contracts. Then you have templates, you have easy deployment and APIs, pretty much everything you need. And we're using it ourselves for blockchain development. You can ask Kai, for example, how much time he saves. We recently had a customer project where they started using the ONINO developer platform for something that they didn't even have the know-how to build in-house, but the platform enabled them to do so, which is really a testament for the platform we've built, and it's really great hearing that. And we even heard them using the platform after we talked to them, or no, they talked to us after they used it. So we didn't even know they were using it and building applications. So that's a pretty cool thing. We didn't even have to actively sell it to them. They just started using it. And that's the idea behind it. And then maybe the biggest one, which is a prime use case, is the tokenized financing platform or tokenization platform where we enable essentially the future of financing. We enable to tokenize any asset, any financial asset, be it company shares, be it loans, be it the typical utility token that you know from crypto, or even totally new financial products, which is something that's gonna be very interesting in the future, and essentially enables any company to raise funds at any state, to any condition, really democratizing the access to capital, and for investors, democratizing the access to investment assets. So on both sides, really interesting developments, and adoption is coming very quickly. We have been focusing on regulation. We have been getting licenses, getting regulatory approvals with organizations and partners, and building the platform. We have had utility token raises and sales before, and we're starting security token sales right now. Some we can talk about already, some we will be able to talk about soon. So stay tuned for more updates on projects and customers following very soon. And talking about the platform, there's two ways how customers or people can use the ONINO ONINO tokenization platform. One is the ONINO platform, which is a central hub where companies can list their financing projects on our platform and address a pool of investors that's being built there. Or the other one is white label, where people have their own project, their own idea, and they say that I don't want to just finance one project, but I want to have the whole platform as a white label and use it for very specific purposes. Let's say I have a company group with many companies inside the group, and I want to do some cross financing, for example, or I want to do a platform or create a platform that's very specific, like, I don't know, let's say solar farms in southwestern Germany, and I want to have a platform for that. And we're white labeling this platform to our customers. We have two very different business models for each of those, so each are great. So it's not that we're giving away our technology for free. We're profiting from both, and the development and also the blockchain is profiting from both, because public registers are going to be held on the ONINO blockchain. So it's really very big synergies inside our products that use each other, that work together, that go hand in hand, and that essentially lead to the efficiency that the ONINO ecosystem promises. But yeah, talking a lot for a very quick introduction. That's what we do at ONINO. And now let's jump right into the tokenization platform update.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex, for the introduction. Also, warm welcome from my side. We've talked already, or Alex mentioned already, that all we are building is built towards a single focus of bringing tokenization forward and having it fulfill its whole potential. And for that, we've got a few updates for you to show you what our focus points has been in the last month and what we were trying to improve on the platform. So without further ado, we strongly focused in the last month on improving the features tailored towards asset issuers. This is especially important for anyone that is not directly in the Web3 and crypto space. And as you can see on the next slide, there were many things that we have to improve there, because we are building it in a way that anyone can use it, not only the people that already know their ways around tokens and wallets and such. So what we improved was further enhancements to the no-code creation and product creation. We now call each token a product, just that it's more standardized and simple to understand. We created support for different asset types and also improved the representation to any user on the platform of these token types, and also implemented additional management features for any admin that makes their life just much easier. And I'm just going to go into more detail on the next slides, starting with the product creation or the token creation. It might sound difficult to understand for us people who know their way around the blockchain, have been in the space for years, but for anyone that is outside, and this is the majority of people, a majority of financial providers, financial asset holders and managers, is that they don't know too much about blockchain. And this is why we need a platform such as ours that can reduce the time to issuance by up factor of 10, thus making it so easy to launch a token, and just needs the user to put in, as you can see on the screenshot, a few details, and he can just, by clicking through a form, create a token, launch it, and distribute it worldwide. You could say it's a self-service tokenized asset creation, and it also includes the whole compliance framework that is needed, because that's also one of the major points next to creating the code of the token, is having the compliance fully done and set in stone. And this is something that is provided by our platform as a standardized set, which allows us to tailor this to so many more use cases and serve so much more people worldwide. One next example is the referral and commission system that you can see on the next slide. It's basically what you know from if you took part in some of the future, or not the future, some of the previous projects we had with clients, is that you can create your own affiliate link. But this goes much, much further. We can now accommodate not only individuals, but also professional commission systems that allows financial advisors to take part in a tokenized asset revolution and handle their whole commission system on our platform. That opens up so many doors for us, because we can now also target professional financial advisors with our tokenized securities. Another change to the platform and feature we've implemented, which is directly tailored to admins, is the investor management in general. We always say that with the ONINO tokenization platform, you can manage or handle 1,000 people as easily and as quickly as you have managed and handle one person. For this, for example, we've created a whole communication system which allows automated emailing lists, holds a lot of templates, and will be fully customizable in the future to make the communication and direct contact with investors and users on the platform as simple as possible, and just truly speaking makes it a breeze for any person that wants or thinks about issuing a tokenized asset. We've now spoken a lot about the features and improvements we made that are tailored towards admins and the issuers of an asset, but we also have to capture the user. And for that, we've kind of taken a turn and tried to make the representation of assets on our platform so simple that anyone can understand it, even if it comes to more complex securities, such as a bond or other types of assets. So we've completely remodeled how assets are displayed. You can directly see the insights on the financials. You can see the overview of the project, the overview on the issuer who's actually tokenizing, in this case, a solar park in Stuttgart, which is a demo use case. And you can also see any securities that are backing the asset, if it is, for example, a tokenized debt instrument or such. This is a big step forward to making tokens and tokenized systems more understandable for anyone. And we try to eliminate too much wording around tokens, just so anyone, and even my next door grandmother, can understand it. All these were big changes to the tokenized financing platform. And remember, these are always accessible to anyone that wants to tokenize directly on ONINO's platform, which will be launching, but also on their own white label version of our platform. Next, another major big update was to the web wallet and the migration. And I'll just walk you through the three main functionalities that we have for the ONINO web wallet. Our goal is for the ONINO web wallet to be one central place to access all important features that are necessary when, on the one hand, interacting with the ONINO main chain, but also trying to secure, stake, or on the other hand, upgrade to the ONINO main chain. You can see it is an easy interface. You can directly get access to the three main features, which are staking, send, and upgrading. And once you have created an account, and also for certain features, you will be required to perform KYC. Anyone that has a wallet can use any functionality in the web wallet itself. Speaking of functionalities, let's dive a little bit into the staking environment on the ONINO web wallet. As you see, we have tried to keep it as simple as possible. You can see all your deposits, you can select a validator to stake in from a list of given validators, and then you can just simply choose to delegate your stake and take part in securing the ONINO mainnet. This is one of the mandatory features where we require KYC. This is due to regulatory reasons, but we see and we hope that this is also a big step forwards to, on the one hand, maturing the space thanks to regulation, and also helping everyone that wants to secure the ONINO mainnet. And then on the next slide, we can see what we call the upgrade to mainnet, as we don't see it just as a simple migration to the mainnet. We see changing your current existing tokens into the tokens on the mainnet as a really big step forward for ONINO itself, as this marks a whole new chapter in our journey. And what we tried is to make the upgrade to the mainnet as simple as possible. The process is basically just 5 steps, and anyone should be able to do it. The first one is, of course, if you have not already, you will be required to create an account and KYC. And then it's pretty straightforward. You just connect your wallet, type in the amount you need or want to upgrade, and then after signing 2 messages, you will be able to receive your tokens on the mainnet. All this within the ONINO web wallet, so it's accessible to anyone. And further documentation and actually how it works behind the scenes from a technical point of view is something Kai will go through now with you.
Yeah, so first of all, also warm welcome from my side. Thank you very much for the great update on the ONINO blockchain and the web wallet, and especially the token upgrade process to our mainnet. And as Lucas already said, as always, I will now go a bit more into the technical details on how all of this will be working. On the next slide, exactly. So yeah, just first of all, as a bit of a background, first of all, we know that basically upgrading your tokens when there is a token migration can be a quite scary process sometimes, right? We ourselves have participated in upgrades where people had preliminary ERC20 tokens and then upgraded to a native mainnet token. We, and especially I myself, have participated in this process in quite a few other projects, and we know that this can definitely be scary, right? You send your old tokens somewhere, you kind of burn them mostly, then you just have to hope that the new tokens will arrive. So we know that this can be sometimes a bit scary. And yeah, second, on the other hand, just an information for you, such a process also, from a technical perspective, extremely complex, right? There's a lot of potential places in the whole process where things can go terribly wrong, basically, right? So if it's not secure enough, people could not receive their tokens. Attackers could, for example, intervene somehow in the process and claim tokens that are not theirs, and so on and so on. So you see, it's also a quite complex process, and this is why I myself and the rest of our development team have spent a lot of time, a lot of thoughts during the last month to design and implement a very robust and on the other hand also user-friendly and easy to use token migration or token upgrading process that facilitates the upgrade of the old preliminary ERC20 only tokens to our new native mainnet only tokens. Just to basically show you how the whole thing works and create full transparency so you guys know exactly what's going on behind the scenes when you are upgrading your tokens, we will now go a bit more into the details. I will try to keep it non-technical, and if you have any more questions, you can always basically let us know in the chat and we will address any concerns that you may have. Basically for maximum security, we have designed what I call a two-contract system. So we have on the one hand the burn contract, which basically handles the burning of the old ERC20 tokens on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum. And we have on the other hand an airdrop contract that handles the airdropping of the new mainnet tokens on ONINO mainnet. And now let's just have a quick look at the process, how the whole thing basically works. So first of all, this is obviously a one-time action at a fixed date, which we will definitely announce precisely quite close to the mainnet launch. We will take a snapshot of every wallet's token balances. So basically, how much ONI tokens does every wallet have on the wallet, in the staking pools, and so on. And then we will store this basically list of eligible amounts, so to say which amount of ONI tokens is each wallet eligible to in our airdrop contract, right? That's like the first step at all. So we just know how many ONI tokens everyone has, basically, right? Then the second step, and this is where you come into play, happens in the ONINO web wallet that Lucas has just presented. We have fully implemented the interaction with the burn contract, so you guys can basically just go ahead, connect your wallet in the ONINO web wallet, and as Lucas said, basically use it to interact with the burn contract. This will basically work a bit similar, as you know, from our tokenization platform, actually, where you just deposit tokens into a smart contract. It's actually kind of a similar concept under the hood. You first have to approve that our burn contract is allowed to spend your old ONI tokens, and then it will, so to say, swallow your old ONI tokens, and then we'll also record this directly within the contract, right? So then we have the burn contract. You have basically sent your old ONI tokens to it, and it has recorded that it has received your old ONI tokens, right? And then we have a job running, so to say, kind of like a workhorse that is doing the heavy lifting in the background. And this job is running at a fixed interval, right? And this does actually only the following for each wallet that has burned or basically sent their old ONI tokens away. So first of all, it just goes into the burn contract and says, hey, dear burn contract, how much ONI tokens has the wallet XYZ now actually burned, okay? Then it goes ahead on the ONINO mainnet basically and uses the airdrop contract and asks it, hey, dear airdrop contract, how many new ONI tokens, according to our snapshot, is the wallet XYZ actually eligible for? And then third, and this is maybe the most important part, it also asks the airdrop contract, hey, dear airdrop contract, how many new ONI tokens did the wallet XYZ actually already receive, right? And based on these three information points, then our system, like this workhorse in the background, can then basically determine, hey, is there something that I have to airdrop to the wallet XYZ, right? So if it sees, for example, hey, the person, according to a snapshot or the wallet, is eligible for 1,000 ONI tokens, they have received none so far, and now they have burned 800 of their old ONI tokens. Okay, got it. Now I have to airdrop 800 new ONI tokens to wallet XYZ. So if this is the case, and if there's something to airdrop, then the worker does the following. It first checks the KYC status. As Lucas has said, this is necessary for regulatory compliance in Germany, that we basically only issue mainnet tokens to KYC wallets. If that is successful, basically, and you have successfully confirmed the KYC in our web wallet, then the worker will airdrop the new ONI tokens. And then finally, this airdropping of new tokens is then recorded in the airdrop contract, basically just in order to prevent double airdrops, right? So this happens in one single atomic transaction within the smart contract. that the new tokens are airdropped, and it's also recorded they have been airdropped. So there's basically no way to intervene that process. Yeah, as you see, we have designed a rather complex, but yeah, in the end, I think quite clever and also very robust and secure system to handle our token upgrade process, just by simply utilizing blockchain, what it's supposed to do best, basically being a immutable single source of truth, in that case, to handle our basically token upgrading process. And yeah, as I said before, if you have any questions on how exactly it works, if you have any insecurities, if you are somehow, I don't know, afraid that your tokens could get lost, or you have any questions, just feel free to hit us up, and we'll always be happy to resolve any unclarities that there may be. All right, so far on that topic. Now let's move on to the next interesting part, what the development team is currently working on in preparation of our upcoming mainnet launch. So the next thing I just want to inform you about we are currently doing is what I call Genesis parametrization. So some of you may have heard this term. So basically every blockchain has a, so to say, Genesis file. And you can kind of think of it like a bit of the blueprint, right? That defines actually the initial first state that the blockchain has at launch, right? So it specifies, for example, the blockchain settings like our chain ID, simple stuff like that. Also a bit more complex parameters, like, for example, the initial token distribution, right? Like, which means basically how many ONI tokens are initially minted to which addresses, and also like the different consensus rules and parameters that we are applying. And our development team is currently working hard, basically, and putting a lot of time and resources into finalizing these parameters for a secure and very stable mainnet launch in April. And once complete, this will basically serve as the foundation for our mainnet and also for all future networks upgrades. And with that, I think we can move on to the next topic I want to inform you guys about what we're currently working on, which is what I call the staking parameterization. This is also a little bit of background information on for you how exactly everything works. So yeah, some of you may have basically been wondering how exactly does staking work on an actual native blockchain, right? And for some people maybe surprising answer is that basically also on a native blockchain staking, the entire staking process and also like the management of validator nodes and so on is actually also managed by smart contracts. But these are, so to say, network level smart contracts that are actually directly written into the blockchain at its launch in the Genesis file. So what do these network level smart contracts actually do? So they have different jobs. On the one hand, they keep an updated list of validators and their stakes and also their performance and if they should be slashed. So you can think of it as a, so to say, validator registry that is directly on chain. So if you, for example, become a blockchain validator for your mainnet, this will also be recorded into these network level smart contracts that you are a validator. It will also be recorded what your initial stake is and how your behavior was if you've been, quote unquote, behaving well, so to say, in your role as a validator. It also keeps track of basically how many tokens a user has delegated to which validator for the delegated staking. So if you as an end user want to stake your ONI tokens, then these will basically be delegated to one of the validators and you will get a percentage share of their staking rewards. And this will also be recorded in these smart contracts. And then finally, also in terms of parameterization, these smart contracts also define all of the reward parameters, basically how many rewards do you get for what as a validator and as a delegator. And they also mint the staking rewards for validators as well as delegators. And what is also a big portion of our work currently is that we are running the last test scenarios, running the last simulations, and finalize the exact parameter settings of these network level smart contracts in accordance with our tokenomics. So it's basically a economically viable for validators and delegators to keep the network running and participate in staking. And on the other hand, also in accordance with our own tokenomics. All right, that's it so far from the general development update. Now we have a little side note on the next slide. Since we have been basically heard some voices in the community where some concerns were raised, basically that you don't see that much going on our GitHub, basically. And I just want to go a bit more into detail on this. and address these concerns a bit in this community update. So first of all, just a bit of a background for everybody that is not too technical in this call. So GitHub is basically one of the largest code repository providers. It allows basically to store your code online in code repositories, that's how they're called. And these can be either public or private, right? And on the one hand, all of our user-facing products, so for example, the tokenization platform as well as the ONINO developer platform, are basically in its core proprietary software and are therefore obviously non-open source and are also kept in private GitHub repositories, right? This is why if you go on ONINO GitHub, you can't see anything regarding the developer platform and tokenization platform just because these are kept in private repositories. This is on the one hand security reasons, because in case there would be some kind of security vulnerability, it would make it 100 times easier for an attacker to get in, just because he can simply review the whole source code, right? And on the other hand, this has obviously, of course, also business reasons, because these are the products basically that drive our revenue for us as ONINO as a working revenue generating company. And if these were open source, basically everybody could just copycat them over to their blockchain network and basically steal all of our IP, so to say, right? So these are obviously kept in non-open source private GitHub repos and will also stay there, right? Then second, everything around our blockchain infrastructure is currently also being worked on in private repositories too, just until we have everything 100% completed, finished, battle tested. But after we have publicly released our mainnet, and the mainnet has been launched and running stable for a while, after that we will also definitely open source everything around our blockchain infrastructure. So then you will be able to see basically all of the inner workings of our blockchain infrastructure in full detail, right? But however, we know that it can look kind of frustrating or irritating if you have a look at the GitHub and don't see too much. But I just want to ask you to stay assured that we are still working hard on everything behind the scenes. So right down there, you can see the screenshot of, for example, only my GitHub activity in the last year. This is from my profile, where I can also see like the activity in private repositories. And here you can see how hard we are working basically on both our ONINO blockchain infrastructure as well as the ONINO tokenization and developer platform. And yeah, what should I say? Also, the GitHub repositories of all of our other developers look quite similar. So obviously, while you can't see that much on the public GitHub, you can definitely stay assured that we are working hard every day to deliver the best for you guys. All right, and I think with that we can move on.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much, Kai. As always, the last point is question time. To make it easy, we are accepting questions on any platform that we're streaming live to, which at the moment is X or Twitter, it's Telegram, and it's YouTube. So if you have any question, feel free to put it in the chat and we will be answering them in written form, just to have it consistent. You have your question, you have your answer. So if you have a question, feel free to put it right now in the chat, and you're always welcome to ask any question at any time. Whether we answer directly or our moderators pick them up and forward it to us, and we're going to answer them. We try our best to answer as many questions as possible in a timely manner, in an as timely manner as possible. And yeah, it's been great having you. Thank you very much for listening, and catch up in the next community update.
Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful evening. See you soon.
Have a great evening, everyone.